Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's online marketplace webinar. My name is Ben Zastroki, and I'm a senior consultant here at Association Technology Solutions. Before we go further, I just want to review some basic functionality of the GoToWebinar platform. We definitely want this to be an interactive discussion, but right now I have everyone on mute just to avoid background noise and distractions. So throughout the presentation, we'll be managing the chat and question windows. So if you could enter your questions and comments in the appropriate panel throughout the presentation, we'll get to those either throughout, depending upon the topic, or at the end of the presentation. Randy and Laura are happy to answer those questions. If you'd rather ask your questions in person, you can just use the hand icon on the control panel to raise your hand, so you can see within the GoToWebinar tool panel. Raise your hand and indicate that you have a question or comment, and we'll go ahead and unmute you at, either during the presentation or at the end of the presentation, so you can actually ask your question to Randy or Laura. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and ask Randy and Laura to introduce themselves, and then we'll begin the presentation. So, Randy?
Thanks, Ben. Randy Richter, Director of Technology Solutions here at ATS. And I look forward to showing you some of the new features of the store and have a little interaction, if we can, down the road with questions. Laura?
Hi, I'm Laura Tidquist. I'm a Technical Support Manager here at ATS, and I help a lot with the store. I recognize a lot of the names on the list. So I'm going to moderate the session, and I'll keep an eye on all the questions, and we'll answer those as we go through. Thanks, everybody, for your time today.
Well, great. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll try not to keep you guys too long this afternoon. And again, this on the December 24 release. This was released in December 2014. A couple of you already have this implemented and installed, and well, you didn't get the webinar done here till January on that, but this is the information about what happened between the major releases. As we've kind of talked about before on some of these slides, and I just have this slide here to show you, the major releases happen approximately every 3 months, and then the minor releases, and there may be anywhere from 3 to 7 releases. They happen every 2 to 3 weeks that take care of bug fixes, or maybe some kind of emergency patch, or some other maybe minor enhancement that somebody's needing at that moment. But that's how that release goes, and we're already underway with the patches to what I'm showing you today. We already have a list of topics and whatnot to add for enhancements and bugs for the next version. Anyway, that's how that those release schedule works. Really, there's 3 things I want to talk about today briefly, which are the coupon enhancements that have happened since the September release, the PayPal Express integration, and the Google Analytics enhanced e-commerce tracking. Now, all this is available. All these release notes are available on our website. There'll be a URL at the end, but it's at our main website at www.atsol.org. So some things in the coupons that have been added, and that is that we now allow for the product code field you to put wildcards in there, and that was something that was asked for, especially if you got a lot of products that you can put a common to limited list in there right now, but that is limited to 256 characters, I believe. So by using wildcards, you could say any products that start with book asterisk. Then it would, anything that starts with the product code of BOOK, that coupon would apply to. So it gives you some flexibility there. In a next patch, there's actually going to be even more enhancements for you to modify that field, but that's what this release has, the ability to put wildcards in there. Also for the entry, allow the entry of a name of a SQL view that identifies the IDs that are allowed to use that coupon. So, for example, we've added some recently, few versions ago, we had the ability to put an ID number in and limit a coupon to a particular ID number. Well, now you have the ability to apply that coupon to everybody whose ID number is in a SQL view. And we have instructions in the manual to do that. So that could be something like every ID number of everybody that attends a conference. And so you could give a coupon at the conference, and it would only be applicable to those people that went to the conference. So the only ones that could use that coupon code. So some more features in coupons, and again, we've got some more exciting things to come to make coupons even better than they are today. Next thing I want to touch base on is PayPal Express. That's been asked for from a lot of people, and that's been added in there. We do have a number of different payment methods now. Of course, this is a screenshot here. We have the credit card, traditional credit card, electronic check, ACH, that's telecheck to process checks. Of course, you can let people pay by purchase order if you want. Global payments is a system similar to PayPal Express where you actually go to a third-party site to make your payment, and so is PayPal Express. I'll talk about PayPal Express right now. The way that works, again, is that when you get to the checkout screen, if you have PayPal Express enabled, it will automatically go over to PayPal, send the total amount of the card over there. It'll let people pay that with their credit card that's on file over at PayPal or enter a new one over at PayPal. And then once the transaction's done, come back into IMUS. So really in this situation, you never have the credit card in IMUS. Good and bad, you know, that definitely some people makes people feel better if they don't even have the credit card there. Not a big on the bad side, but if you want to give somebody a refund, then you're going to have to do a little extra work to figure out which credit card to refund that person. But that's how that there's a checkbox in at checkout, and you can enable this or disable this. Again, it's available for everybody on there. As an example, then, when it goes to the PayPal page, you'll see here the words online marketplace checkout, $75.08, and then they can make their payment. And by whatever means they have set up on PayPal. If they cancel, then it comes back and they're still sitting there and they could choose a different payment method. But if they go ahead and continue through the process, then they'll put their credit card in here or whatever payment method, it'll process it, and when they're done, again, it goes back into IMUS. Now, we do have some configurations that you can do in the online marketplace. There's a store setting for the label of what you want that line item to be. Online marketplace checkout, it could be whatever words you want. And then also on the item description, you have some flexibility there. We go into a lot of detail in the manual on how you can set these settings and what each of those settings are. But it gives you some control over what you see when they hop over to PayPal. Now this is, again, will work the same whether it's dues, event registrations, donations, anything, and it gives you an option then to let people pay directly with PayPal Express. Okay. The next one I want to spend a little bit more time on that we're really excited about is the Google Analytics, Enhanced E-Commerce. And you might want to Google the Enhanced E-Commerce to learn a lot more about it on the Google site. But in essence, I put a paragraph together here that I took off their site. The Enhanced E-Commerce plugin enables the measurement of user interactions with products and on sites across the shopping experience, including product impressions, product clicks, viewing details, adding a product to the cart, initiating a checkout process, etc. So traditionally, if you have Google Analytics in your header or your footer, you're going to know that page was hit. But this is actually going to drill down into what did they do on the page as they clicked through in the online marketplace. Basically, to set this up, you have to have an account at Google Analytics, which probably many of you already have that for your websites. You will enable, there's a setting in the store to enable Google Analytics by setting the parameters called Config Google Analytics Enhanced E-Commerce. You set it to true or false. That'll turn it on. And then there's a place to put your Google Analytics key in the online marketplace. Generally, again, what this does is as pages are rendered inside the online marketplace, it will automatically generate the appropriate JavaScript that will push the data to Google Analytics and include it in there. So that's how all that is set up. Some of the things that we've got specifically, the different kind of things that you can track are, the first one is impressions. And that means what did the people see? What did the person see on the screen? And we include featured items, bestsellers, people who bought this, bought that, upsell, cross-sell, substitute specials, newest items, search results, all of that. And it's even to the detail where in Google Analytics you know whether it was the first featured item, the second featured item, the third featured item. Additionally, on a page of search results, you will know in Google Analytics whether they clicked on the item that was the first item that came up in the search, the second, the third, etc. It goes to that detail. We do also track the product detail page. So when somebody goes to a detail page, you'll know they actually went to a detail page from a search listing, and it tracks all those clicks into the detail pages. As well, the add to cart, it'll track that, so you'll know that somebody clicked the button to add to their cart, and that they viewed the cart, they entered their shipping, they entered their payment, and ultimately that they checked out. And it tracks all of that. So there's an extensive amount of, when you turn this feature on, of JavaScript that gets rendered. Now, we haven't seen issues with performance yet. We haven't had people use it. We've been using it on a demo site, but really, since it's JavaScript running, it's running at the browser side, not at the server side. So we don't expect that to be a major concern on your server or anything like that, because again, this JavaScript will be rendered and run at the client side. Let me give you some examples of some of the things you can do with this. And this is some sample data from a small period on a small demo site. We'll see here there's in your Google Analytics, there's a gutter over on the left side that tells you the kind of things that it can do. There's an overview, is the first page we have here. Just some of the stats on here include the revenue, conversion rates, how many transactions went through, what were the dollars of those transactions, even what coupon values and what's the total amount of coupons that were used on your site. Some really good stuff, even the average order total, the number of orders. In this case, since it's a demo site, it's pretty cool that we've got 95% conversion rate, but understand this is a demo site where we've been playing around with it a lot. Okay. I'll show you some other screens that you can look into. Audience overview. Of course, there's things like, are they a returning visitor, a new visitor? Things like shopping cart behavior analysis. And this is a great one that shows you out of 22 sessions that came to the site, 14 viewed a product, 12 added to the cart, 14 then sessions were checked out, 10 transactions, so lots of good stuff there, about how the abandonment rate works through the shopping cart process. What did people do when they were shopping? Did they add to the cart? Did they get all the way to the checkout? Did they actually turn into a transaction? So these are the kind of reports, again, based on the data that we're pushing when you turn on the Google Analytics in the marketplace. Another one, the checkout behavior. So here, each step of the way, did they view the cart? Did they check out? Did they have payment screen? Did they actually finish the transaction? I think most of the stuff we were doing here with testing didn't have shipping, so that screen doesn't show up, but it will track if somebody goes to shipping screen, and it shows you each step of the way what everybody did. So that's the checkout behavior analysis. Let me show you another one, is like sales performance. We can look at any particular product in the store, and we can look at what the revenue is from that, how much shipping was associated with it, how much tax was associated with the order, how many, lots of good statistics there as well. Another example is of all those special things like specials, featured, newest items, best sellers, maybe they went directly to a product, a calendar. Where did people see products and what did they do with them? Now, this is a demo database, and while this was some of the internal testing, apologize, those are all zeros. We weren't playing around with clicking on it when I took this screenshot, but it will actually show you that on specials, 40 people clicked on that. And then they went and eventually added to their cart and went on down the road. So lots of good statistics there that you can get on the shopping as well. Order coupons. You've got the ability in here to show what coupons have been used. It looks like we had an off $445 worth of that coupon. Event 2, there were $405 worth used of that coupon. So lots of good data there. Again, I apologize that not set. I think that was part of it. I know that was part of a test we were doing. You would, of course, only see the coupons that are actually coupons, which shows you the dollars that were used on each of those coupons. So some really good stuff there as well. I'm going to take a couple questions. Well, let me go a couple more screens here. Just as an add-on, on top of Google Analytics, there is a plugin, and this is an extremely cool plugin for Chrome that shows you real-time who's on your site, what they're clicking on, and how many clicks things are doing. So here you'll see we turn this on, and we can hover over. We can see that 0.5% of the people that come to the site click on the annual conference link, and 1.0% click on the all events. And this is the total number of page views, unique views, how many people are in there. Some really cool stuff. And we have a a couple clients on the webinar from the Geological Society of America, and I was out to their site yesterday, and we were playing around with this. And you can see on their product categories, category by category, you can see what people are clicking on and what are the most popular categories on your site in the store. And you'll see there's some things here that aren't clicked at all. You know, there's a catalog, there's a link here, link number R is a catalog PDF, and nobody's clicked on that link. And that can kind of give you some ideas of, do you want to promote that? Is it something that we don't need on the site, etc. But you know, when we looked at this yesterday during the day, we had 49 people on the site, and these stats will real-time change as you just sit on the page and watch the page. Now, what you have to have for this, you have to have the Google Analytics plugin in there, and you have to have be logged in. It's extremely cool stuff to do. I'm going to stop before I go to the next screen, and I'm going to go back here a couple of some of these, and I'm going to answer a few questions before I get into the last section, because we have a few questions here. Laura, do you see something? And I'll let you and I can both try to tackle these. Let me start. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. So Keith Williams asked, if the user has any third-party blockers on, will that interfere with the analytics tracking?
Well, I think that from what I know, that is the case with any JavaScript that's on a page. If somebody is blocking their JavaScript, then all your JavaScript is blocked. But that's really, you know, what Google Analytics depends and counts on to get its data back and forth, just as, you know, many other sites require that kind of functionality as well. So it is probably true that if they have everything blocked, and that it wouldn't track. If they have JavaScript blocked, then it won't write it back up. There's really no personal information gets pushed back to Google Analytics, but you know, of course, there's ways for people to stop that if they really don't want it in their browser.
And then the other two questions, which are actually the same question, will the e-commerce view have to be configured in Google Analytics, or will it work out of the box once we enter our Google Analytics ID into the store general lookup table?
Yeah, so you don't have to do anything else with Google Analytics if you put your code in there. This is all automatic. Now, there's a lot of cool things to do in analytics. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of cool things that I am not an expert on. I don't know a lot about, but let me give you an example. This is my Google Analytics site right here. There's a way to set up goals and funnels, and goals are what are your goals. You can track how many hits you're getting towards your goals. You know, a lot of, there's these multi-channel funnels, time lags, all kinds of conversion stuff. What's really cool in some of these reports is you can say, I want to compare the revenue to the e-commerce rate, or the revenue to the average price, or the revenue to the quantity of things ordered. And you can really create segments. I don't know. I know just to scratch the surface on what Google Analytics can really do. But what the answer is by default, just by putting in the code, you're immediately going to get this data. By turning it on the store and adding the code, you're immediately going to get this data with no setup at all. Again, an experienced marketing person at some of your organizations will probably be able to take this extremely far. And we're definitely looking for you know, any feedback. If there's some particular statistic or analysis that something that happens in the store that we missed, I think we did a pretty thorough job there. But if there's something that you think ought to be tracked and it's not, we'd sure love to see that either on idea scale or send us a ticket in, and we'll take a look at that and get that implemented for you. Okay?
Okay, that's it so far.
Okay, I'm going to go in. I got a few more, and we'll wrap up here, folks, and see if there's any other questions. I talked about these plugins. Again, that's an extremely helpful tool to see real-time. That combined with the enhanced e-commerce analytics is going to be fantastic for everybody. So some other tracking features, just because they've been coming up a lot in conversations with clients, I wanted to bring up that can kind of feed into this whole thing, is there is a one-click add to cart, and a lot of people don't know that or don't know about it. There is any URL you take, for example, a detail page, detail.aspxid =bright, you can change that to add to cart. .ASPX ID equal bright, and it really will dump something or somebody right into the shopping cart. As an example, I have a page here. I have nothing in my cart. If I was to change detail.aspx to add to cart, I could make a button in an email. I could make a button on my home page that says, click here to buy the Bright Ideas book. Simply by clicking on that link, it will automatically add that to your cart and take you to the checkout page where you can finish your checkout. You can also put multiple books or products in there by commenting the list. You might say, add these 2 books, book 1, book 2, and it would add them both to your cart when you click on it and go to the checkout. And you'll see there I clicked on it, and it actually did. Now I'm ready to check out, and away I go. Okay? So a really cool feature of the store that not a lot of people are doing. I just want to make everybody available know about that. The other one is promo codes. Promo codes will actually translate into source codes in IMUS. So you could say on this store, you could say store default.aspx, or to go any page in the store, if you say promo equal spring 2015 as an example, then it will keep track of that all the way through to the checkout. And in your reports in IMUS, you would see a source code of spring 2015. So that's another way to use this. However, if I go back to some of the features of Google Analytics, there is a way there's a URL generator that you can put in emails that will record that in Google Analytics. So I just wanted where the email came from. So I just want to bring that up as 2 different approaches. We think that both may be of benefit to you to not only to track the source code in IMUS, but to track it in Google Analytics by creating those using that URL generator they provide to put URLs in emails. So we're really excited about that. We'll make sure everybody knows about those features as well. Really, as always, to schedule an upgrade of the marketplace to version, and this is version 2014.12. You'll send an email to help@atsol.org. We'll get you scheduled and get that set up so you can take advantage of these features. Of course, the ATS website at www.atsol.org has all the release notes, and of course, demos and stuff are out there. And then, of course, if you just need general information, send it to info@atsol.org, or most of you know my email address and can contact myself and/or Laura if you need to. So I'm just going to stop for a second and see what other kind of questions they have. One comment come up is that if you are working, and some of you are working with another reseller or somebody else that helps you with the store, make sure to use that resource as well. Laura, let's take a look at these other questions that have come in.
Yep. So from Todd at GSA, is there any PayPal setup required in IMUS? Also, how are the payments reconciled in the daily batch? The way that works is you'll need to have a PayPal business account, and there is some setup, and we've documented that in the new documentation. There are some store settings, and you'll need to set up a new cash account and a new credit card auth account in IMUS, and then those 3 things all work together. But then you'll be able to run the reports from your PayPal business account and match that to what's in your daily batch.
I'll take the next one from David. How do you add multiple product codes in the add to cart utility? With that, it's pretty straightforward. You simply put a comma limited list in the URL. I'm going to turn off my Google real time there. Excuse me. In the add to cart, I could say add to cart, and I could say book 1, comma book 2, and that will add both book 1 and book 2 to my cart, which are these Harry Potter books, and away I go. So it's a comma limited list of product codes after the ID number.
The next one is, go ahead.
Yeah. How are the PayPal Express payments shown in IMUS? And I believe, and I'm like 99% sure, so give me a benefit of the doubt this isn't it. Since we can't put in a credit card number, we have chosen to put those in with the opcode goes in there, but it goes in, it looks like a cash payment or a check payment. And we put the authorization code in there so that you can have something to reference, cross-reference back to a PayPal if need be.
All right. The next question is the PayPal business setup different than what we have for our credit card authorization already? And I believe that it is. Is it, Randy, can you confirm that?
Yes.
I think it is different.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
It's different than the PayFlow Pro account.
Yeah. So if you want to have the money go into your PayPal account, it's, basically you have to have a PayPal account. PayPal for PayPal Express for those excuse me, that PayPal business setup. So those are pretty straightforward to do. I mean, most people can just go get them. I'm not even sure. I hate to say this, I don't know the answer. I'm not even sure there's a cost for that to set up a PayPal business account. However, they do probably charge you a per transaction and percentage fee, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there is a charge for setup. Okay.
That's all the questions I'm showing right now.
Yeah, some good questions there today, folks. Other questions or comments or anything? Okay. Well, fantastic. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Again, we're already making progress on the next release. In fact, it's already in QA, ready to go forward with the next patch. We've got some great things coming up. We're going to continue to enhance the marketing functionality that's in the marketplace. It's a real differentiator here. To really let you have more ways to one-click drop things in. We're thinking about some unique ways to do marketing. I've got some great suggestions from clients in the last few days. We do want you to use Idea Scale for the ATS Online Marketplace. A lot of things out there. A lot of people are voting on things. We really appreciate that. It really helps drive our direction here. And with that, the fact that there's no more questions, again, we thank you for your time today, and we will talk to you next time on the webinar. Thanks a lot.